Hello, peeps. I am Tidbit. Me and my figures are girls, and today's showcase is of both Age of the Prime's Red Alert and Age of the Prime's Flatline. You can tell because there's an actual flatline. It's not the same on this side. On this side's the miracle. But they are these, little rescue SUVs for medical operations on both sides. Autobot and Decepticon. And they come with some pretty neat features, one of them being you cannot see the robot inside here at all, and they can defend themselves. They have a gun that just comes out of the roof. So, that's always fun. Vehicles that can defend themselves. And really the only difference between these two, other than the paint job, is Flatline comes with one extra accessory. That's it. So, let's get on to transformation. And we'll start with Red Alert. This is specifically from the Armada universe. One of my favorites. It even still has the Minicon port. And what I like to do to start the transformation is just kind of, you grab and then you twist like this. To just get it away from this peg here and this peg here. It's very awkward to get it up and in here, but then it's just secure when you do that. And I also like doing this leg first because you can see one of the accessories and get it out. Because it is the bullet missile for the gun that comes out at the top. But once you have both legs freed, you take this whole assembly and rotate it. Next, flip out the feet and fold down the toes, and then you come in here to fold out the heel. There's a little tiny cut out, as you can see here. It's not all the way, and that is what I always grab to try and pull the heel out. You do that on both sides, like so, and then just straighten out the legs. Next, you take the doors and open them up. Then you rotate the doors. I recommend sticking the arms out and then disconnecting the door from this tab up here and this slot here. Rotate and do the same on the other side. Disconnect, rotate, and we are nearly done. All we got to do is just close this door. Make sure it sticks. Then this peg that's sticking out here is going to go into here. Like that, leaving the windshield down. And then finally, we open up the engine block, grab on the little tiny handle to help us move the head out, fold this down, and down again. And here we have Red Alert. Now, let's transform Flatline pretty quickly. So, you just disconnect this, disconnect, fold out the waist, close up the door, extend the legs, flip out the heel, make sure everything clicks together. I'm now realizing I should have kept one of the gloves off to mirror light and goth. Take the arms, rotate, extend, disconnect, rotate again. And then for this arm, you will notice there is a hand, opposed to Red Alert's stump. Take the back, slide it in, open the engine block, and fail. Because there's more paint on Flatline, so what I like to do is open up the back piece, pull out the extra accessory, the missile head, and then come in from the back here to give like a starter on the head, to just push it up a bit more, to get just that tiny bit more leverage, to get the head just far enough that we can close all this back up and move the head out of the way. Fold, fold. And then the other thing I like to do with Flatline is I like to rotate the wheels about 90 degrees, and I like to have the doors fold down to just give a kind of more dour and less gunslinger mood about Flatline. And here we have the two of them. They are oh so well. It is a very interesting recreation of the original toy, just smaller and without the chest opening gimmick, sadly. But it's pretty solid. It's got swivels, it's got knee, it's got a second knee, it's got a lot of foot movement. And it has oodles of accessories, because that gun from the first part of the video can also swing up out the back and come up over the shoulder to be shoulder mounted. And then the traditional toyetic way is to take a little tiny, come on, focus. Focus. It is, oh, there it is. There's the piece. This is the original end to the gun that shot out a missile that opened up so you could grab things. Looks like a little claw to me. And, like the original toy, you can detach and put it in the hand. Because it's a short peg, but it works. Like so. And then, for Red Alert, their missing hands are stored down in the little, what I call holsters. So we got this first one here that is like little tiny triple barrel machine gun with a peg here. It took me a long while because it doesn't say it in any of the instructions for Red Alerts. You can plug them on here, so when it's in vehicle mode, they are there to assist. You can also do kind of the same thing with this piece here, because it's got a hole right in the middle that is the same size. We'll just stick that there so we don't lose it. And you can put the missiles right here. Now, warning, it does bend them. It's not exactly the same. But you can also just store it in the tiniest porthole in the back here. And then they have a second hand that they can use. Here, I like to push in on the barrel so the tip comes out, and it's easier to grab. And these are just standard port size, as we can see there. And this one is just like a larger, like shockwave-esque laser beam. And Flatline has all the same stuff. They're just in clear plastic instead of being painted silver. So we'll put one there. And then the hand here is the extra accessory because it still can come off. I thought both hands would do this, but it's just the one, and it still furthers my little tiny campaign that every just simple swivel joint should just be a peg. We need more customizability. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, these legs, pop them off. They're just a swivel joint. Why can't it just be a peg? And we've got, here's the unpainted version. Stick that on her stump. And there we have all the accessories floating about on Red Alert and Flatline. So that means you know what we're working with when we go into the fan modes. And I have two of them because there's two figures here and they have slight differences, and Flatline uses the fact they come with an extra accessory. So let's start with the simple version on Red Alert. We're going to want to just remove all of the accessories and set them to the side, except for the gun. Just fold that back in. Take the head, rotate it 180, and pull it back just a tiny bit, because it'll get in the way. Next, we want to take the arms and just kind of collapse them like we're going back into alt mode. Like so. But then we're rotating this direction, so the windows are on the lower side. Next, we are going to take the backpack, disconnect it, and then move it up on a hinge. It will make the head move on its own because these two parts are very close together. Next, we are going to take the waist and bring it back up like it's in vehicle mode. And then we just kind of bend the legs and move the holsters back around like so. Flatten out the feet, and you might be able to see where I'm going with this. And the final thing that I like to do is take the engine block, flip it back out, and then put it on their head to just imply a bit more protection, as we have a little walker drone. Fully autonomous, even has a little face, and if you don't like that face, you could just like fold this back and just use the visor as the face, Ironhide style, or Ratchet since they're also medical vehicle. But then you just take all of these little bits and you put them in any of the holes to slightly customize. You can also use other things that you have in your collection. Like for this one, I'm just going to use all the stuff that comes with Red Alert. I like to put the missiles here, so they look like a volley. Then I like to put the laser on this side with the port facing up. We'll talk about that in a bit. And the machine gun on the right side. You'll know which side to put them on if you're copying this, because the one without the fist is where the machine gun is, because it has extra range of movement compared to this one. And there is our simple walker with secret ultimate cannon. Boom. But we want something else, something more evil looking. Well, have I got an alt mode for you? Fan mode, engage. So we're just going to disconnect everything, including the blaster and the hand. And this one is actually much simpler. So first, what we are going to do is seal away the head. We will not need it. Next, we are going to disconnect the backpack and spin the legs around. And then we're going to kind of do a similar configuration over there. Just kind of bend at a knee, bend at the knee, bend at the ankle, pull this flat like so you can have it like this, whereas this one is forward. Stands like so. But we are going to orient it, the legs go further out like this, and we bring the backpack down, connect it into its normal spot, and then just kind of use the arms as normal. And you won't believe me, but this is the base mode of the fan mode. Because what I like to configure it as is I put the blaster in the hand. Then I like to take the fist, put it on the arm, not where it normally goes, put a claw where the hand normally goes, and then put the machine gun on said arm and the laser on the chest area, and then fold this back. Because this one is supposed to work with a headmaster. Just take the arms, put them in a kind of seated position, and then slide them in about here. And then pull the command screen close enough that it holds them in place. It's extremely finicky, but once you get it down, then they really hold in place, and it looks like a little command board for this mech. Look at it. And the reason why I said I like to have the pins up here is because maybe have like a small wire go up to this port, so it looks cool. And here we have our little faction walkers. We've got tiny headmasters versus normal size Transformers. And that's about all I have to show you for this showcase. So thank you for watching. Like the video, comment your thoughts, share it with your friends, and subscribe to be notified when new ones come out. Bye-bye!